For 27 years. Paint a picture for us as how you were practicing 27 years ago, 25 years ago, 20 years ago, compared to how you practice today. You know, what happened to shift your perspective?
So when I first began my career, when I was, in my fourth year of residency, I was the chief resident of psychopharmacology. And what that meant was that I did consultations on treatment-resistant patients. So people who had schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, chronic unrelenting depression, personality disorders, you name it. But they were chronically ill. They had been in and out of hospitals. They had tried numerous medications. And my role was to oversee a team of consultants. And we would try to come up with what are the next rational medications to try in order to try to get people better. And at that point, I was persuaded by the field that if we can just find the right pill, we can get people better, and we can get them all the way better, maybe put their illnesses into remission, change their lives, improve their lives, reduce their suffering. That was the goal. Our goal was to help people. And the tool that we had was find the right pill. And I went along that way for a few years, hoping that if I could find the right pill, maybe augment it with the right psychotherapy, maybe sometimes augment it with electroconvulsive therapy or transcranial magnetic stimulation. Well, TMS actually didn't exist back then, but ECT did. And we were certainly using it then. So maybe if we augment in rare cases, but if we can just find the right pill, that was really the goal. If we can just find the right pill, we can get people better. And after several years of that, I quickly began to become discouraged and demoralized that for 95+% of the patients that I was seeing, we weren't finding the right pills. We would find the right pill that might work for 3 months or a year, sometimes even 2 or 3 years. Even in the highly functioning people that I was treating, the business executives and others, I could get them better for a couple of years. But then something would happen and the pill would stop working, or the pills would stop working. And we were right back where we started. And people were in and out of hospitals. Their lives were sometimes devastated. I mean, they were taking their pills religiously, and they would have horrible depressive episodes or manic episodes or psychotic episodes that were ruining their lives, even though they were compliant with treatment. It would disrupt everything. They had to take time off from work. Sometimes they got fired from jobs. Some of them lost relationships. Divorces were happening. Boyfriends and girlfriends were breaking up with people over these episodes. And I was frustrated and demoralized. Like, why aren't we finding the right pills for all these people? And I quickly began to realize, I don't think that's going to be the answer.
Yeah. It's interesting that if you go back to root cause thinking, you and me are both very passionate about trying to get to the root cause of our patients' problems. But often when we're thinking about a problem and we're not sure we've got the right solution, I always think, well, what's the belief I need to hold in order for me to think the way that I'm currently thinking? And then if I apply that through the lens of what you've just said, it's the belief is that this patient has depression. It's a thing that they've got, and that the only way to manage this is by finding the right pills. And if this pill is not working, it simply means I haven't got the right pill yet or the right combination of pills. But if you go back upstream and go, well, hold on a minute, what if the depression is a symptom of something else, right? What if pills are just one way to tackle the symptoms? What if there were other ways to tackle these symptoms? Because we don't get taught that in medical school, really, do we? We don't get taught that. The model, to me at least, and in primary care, we see a ton of mental health problems, right? But the model usually is some combination of medications and psychotherapy.
It is. And I think the medication piece, many mental health professionals will defend it as a root cause issue. And in their mind, the root cause of mental illness is a chemical imbalance in the brain. It is a neurotransmitter imbalance. And some people have a serotonin imbalance. And so they do well with serotonergic medications like Prozac or Paxil or others. And other people might have a neurotransmitter imbalance related to norepinephrine or dopamine. And so they may do better with other types of antidepressants or stimulant medications. People with psychotic disorders like schizophrenia and bipolar disorder, their problem is too much dopamine. And so we need to block the dopamine receptors in their brain, and that will bring about an antipsychotic effect. And so I think many of the mental health professionals, in their minds, they think they are after the root cause. It's a chemical imbalance. And we just need to figure out which chemicals in which patients. And if we can just rebalance their chemicals appropriately, and that means finding the right medication or combination of medications at the right doses, in the right timing, maybe sometimes at night, sometimes in the morning, maybe 3 times a day. If we can just find that perfect combination, we can balance their chemicals appropriately, and they will be in remission and they will live happily ever after. And the reality is that's all hogwash. None of that's true.